Not enter the field of play for any reason. As a reminder, BowlTV.com is the exclusive live streaming home of the PWBA. And we ask that you do not live stream from your personal devices. All right, bowling fans, pick out your favorite athlete this morning, cheer her on. Ladies, your arrows are up. You have a full set of pins, except for lanes 27. Reset 27, ladies. All right, bowling fans, how about a great standoff B squad, second round of competition for 2019 USBC Queens. Good luck, ladies.
Good morning. Good morning to music. Good morning and welcome to the Atlanta A&T University Marching Band. The next 2 weeks will be your introduction and possibly induction into a great marching band legacy. How many of you know what movie that's from? If you know what movie that's from, you get an extra point in my book of great viewership on Bull TV. In all seriousness, very happy and good morning to all of you good people of Earth. It is day number 2. I was able to get a few extra hours of sleep than what a normal tour day would be like, so I don't know how to act. This is B Squad Day 2 as we kick off the day on the fresh. C Squad will bowl today on the burn, and A Squad will end the day on the fresh as well. Hope you guys are doing great on this wonderful Friday morning. This part's kind of similar, where we would be bowling on a Friday. Good morning to Chris, Alyssa, Yvonne, Barbara, Jennifer, Kathy, Aaron. Yeah, Jen, I heard some buzzing when I put my headset on. That's always, well, not always, but generally a sign that some cord is too close to another cord. And you get some buzzing feedback, which sometimes can happen because when you have a lot of cabling. Guadalupe watching from Panama. Well, hello and good morning to you. Tina Shell is here. And all right, I think that might be it. We start the day with Kaylee Tripp, Sherry Tan, and Ashley Galante on 27 and 28, and Emily Eckhoff, two-time intercollegiate singles champion. In fact, back-to-back for Emily Eckhoff. She won one of those titles right here in Wichita. At least, maybe both. I'll have to check that out. Chevy Panzanella, excellent name. Jennifer Russo and Marva Jones. If you recall yesterday, I know Chris, you didn't have a chance to watch much, so let's recap it for you, Chris. In the standings, Daphne Tan led the way with a very nice plus 180 block. 1180 for 5 games. That happened during the B Squad, Burn Squad, I should say. This is, of course, B Squad, but they're bowling on the fresh. Yesterday, this squad bowled on the burn. Kayla Bandy was second, plus 155. Carrie Smith, who bowled great last night on the fresh, at plus 139 from the C Squad, is in third. Angie Ramirez is fourth and plus 120. She led A Squad yesterday morning. And Caroline Lagrange fifth at plus 119. She is in this squad, B Squad. 64th place after 1 day of competition is minus 10. That is the number to get inside the top 64 and advance to match play this week. Minus 10. That was Rebecca Martin off Melbourne, Australia. So 2 additional days to go. Plenty of qualifying games to go before we are set for our top 64. Again, Shannon O'Keefe is your defending champion. She is guaranteed a spot into match play. If she qualifies anywhere from 1 through 64, she will be seated in that particular position, wherever she finishes after qualifying. If she is to fall or qualifies outside of the top 64, then the top 63 players would be taken into match play, and the 64th person would be guaranteed to be Shannon O'Keefe. Just a reminder on that. We also saw yesterday that, or at least learned, that according to several players and a couple reps, yesterday's A squad didn't exactly play them to a defined level. Meaning, there were a few players, or several players who, for example, playing out. Some were playing third arrow, and B squad didn't really know or have a defined place to play. Well, we learned a little bit later that, looks like multiple angles are in play on this particular pattern. But this morning, it looks like the consensus is the majority are playing out to begin. That's I've seen a lot of righties so far. Have not seen a lefty in my vicinity as of yet. So that is where we are here this morning. Kathy, the best thing to do is to go to pwba.com/live. Find either the roster or the pairing sheet. It'll say pairings, roster, and then you can pinpoint exactly who you are looking for. And then with the pairing sheet, you will then know, obviously, which squad and then which lanes they'll be on. So you can follow those players, all day long. That's the best way to do it. Talk about lefties, and Sherry Tan right there on my pair. So we can watch Sherry Tan. One thing for sure. The condition is pretty difficult. I think we've seen some events in the past where, the cut number is a little higher after the first day. And it could take a turn for the better, and it probably will. I mean, I imagine the cut will end up being a plus number. But I think today will tell a lot. You get an idea of what we're talking about when we're playing out. There's Ashley Galante doing a very nice job. Don't forget on the side panels, if you're watching from desktop, where you can see the chat, right next to that panel or that tab is a star. That tells you who's on the lanes for a particular game to help you out, of course. And then the next panel to the right of that is the tournament information tab, where the You'll click on that. It'll take you to all the info you need. Again, rosters, pairings, qualifying results, and anything else that we need, even down to the schedule. So if you have a question about some times or when things might begin, you can check that out as well. And if you're interested in the live events calendar of what's upcoming on Bowl TV, you can check that out as well. Kaylee Tripp striking in the 7th frame. Minus 116. Galante at minus 78, trying to make a run. She talked to us briefly yesterday after her block and said she just couldn't really get everything to go the way things should go. Meaning, you know, the mind is saying one thing, the body is doing something else. And there are days like that. So coming out today, the good news in that regard for her, I think, was it was early. So she bowled first squad yesterday, could, you know, spend the rest of the day, relax, you know, eat, get nice dinner, etc., get some rest, and then come in fresh today and already looking to make some noise here early if she can finish this game out. Great first half of game number 1 for Galante up on lane 28. Good shot and leaves the 10 pin. But that area of the lane where Galante is playing, that has been where most players that I've seen so far. You see Zavialova on your left, you saw Eckhoff on your right. And then now you get a chance to see Sherry Tan, at least to see where the ball is going over the arrows. See Esther Chia a couple lanes over in that area as well. We'll keep our eye on Daphne Tan, how she performs on the fresh. And a good shot from Tan. We'll have a few guests for you throughout the day as well. Opened it up to players who volunteer. They'd like to come hang out for an hour if they are available. So we'll have, looks like we'll have a couple this afternoon. Barbara, that's a good question. Yes, in all general sense, but it mainly will be in which way they would be advertising their tickets or selling them. So if it's on site or if you call in advance. Last year we did a lot of Eventbrites with centers, so fans could buy early if they wanted to. So let me go check that schedule for you. I don't see ticket info listed yet there, Barbara. So I would give a call to Boardwalk just to inquire and see when they will have, if they're not already available, and I'm sure they could be certainly taking them over the phone or tell you where to go. They might be on their website as well. If you end up needing assistance with that, just somewhat send us an email. But I will reach out to Boardwalk Bowl, absolutely. We're almost through game one on 27 and 28. Addison Herzberg out to a good start. Herzberg, current Wichita State Shocker, down on, let's see, 33 and 34. Jin King at plus 22. Just ripped a rack, destroyed it. Sets herself up well for the 10th frame. She can get to 221 with all three in the 10. Oh, hook ball. Saw a couple of those shots just early prior to sitting down here, and I heard that you can't. That's one thing that is different from yesterday. That is, if you throw a shot that maybe you miss right and it just kind of skates or wiggles along the gutter, yesterday your ball would have made a left turn. Maybe not an extreme left turn, but it would have tried to get up the hill. This morning, you may get 2 or 3 off the right or left. How's everyone's morning going so far? It's pretty early. It's actually earlier than we normally would start bowling. 1 hour early, in fact. All right, Galante. He's going to go ahead and just kind of chip and chop at that number. Minus 78, already at 218. Hello, Nate, watching from O'Fallon, Illinois. Down in the southern Illinois area. O'Fallon's generally got a very good bowling team as well. Good bowling program. Right in that Fairview Heights, Lebanon, McKendree area. You guys are probably saying, well, he really knows where O'Fallon, Illinois. I do. I went to Lindenwood, which is on the other side of the border. It's on the Missouri border. About 45 to an hour and change. Russo open frame in the 7th. quality start for Galante, 228. Again, looking to gain some pins. Sherry Tan, meanwhile, is looking to continue to add to her total. She can get in the 230s with 2 strikes here in the 10th frame. And that is 1 for Sherry. I always say that Sherry Tan just goes about her business, as does all of Team Singapore. Should be a very interesting summer. With the World Bowling Women's Championships will be held in August 22nd through the 30th. It'll be at South Point. And that's certainly something you'll want to keep an eye on. The PWBA will actually be on a mini break for the World Women's Championships. So you can go from basically the Orlando Open, sponsored by BowlerX.com, and then check out the World Bowling Women's Championships. It'll be going on for about a week, a little over a week. You talk about Team Singapore, Malaysia's here, so Team USA, Colombia, Korea, Mexico. Should be a very, very fun summer. That's a summer event there. All right, Tan makes a nice ball change just to give it a whirl on the fill. Something that had a little shine, different cover. 239 for Tan. We're all complete on 27 and 28. James, that is early. I've been up early on the West Coast too. I'll tell you, it all feels the same. Congratulations, Alyssa, on a good finish here. I assume you're referring to the Women's Championships. That, of course, is on a mini break for the USBC Queens this week. The last squad of competition was on Thursday morning. No. What's today? Friday? Wednesday morning. Last day of competition for a little more than a week. All right, Panzanella, that frame stops her streak at 4. Chevy from Patterson, New York. Looks like most of the building on the left just about complete with game one. Ashley Rucker and Maria Jose Rodriguez set to join us. Sierra Kanemoto and Christina Kinney will be on 27 and 28 as well. 10th frame here, 29 and 30, 10 pin for Russo at plus 19. All right, spare made. She can get to 185. Pair to the right, Ashton Anderson shoots 205. Surchia shoots 202. Danica Heekin just threw her first shot in the 10th frame. She can get to 153. Hope Gramley struggling a little bit this game. After a nice plus 56 day. She's going to give several back after game one. So she'll have a little work to do. And 4 more games to get it done. Open frame for Heekin. And Danica at minus 41. Heekin has improved immensely since the last time we saw her. And, you know, she had been putting in the work. She spent a lot of time bowling events last year. Wanted to get serious about it, and the improvement certainly has showed. Despite that low game there, not indicative of the actual work that she has been putting in. All right, the PWBA Tour champion from 2018 has joined us. Plus 35 now after 6 games of competition. Again, Rodriguez, Ashley Rucker, former Junior Team USA member, Christina Kinney, and Sierra Kanemoto. Kanemoto is a 2-time Junior Team USA member, 2016 and 2017. Lost in the first semifinal to good friend Brianna Klimmer of the Intercollegiate Singles Championships in Dayton, which was just about 15-20 minutes or so from where she resides. Speaking of Kanemoto, so bit of a homecoming when singles and the team championships were there. I was at Polking Lane South. Final shot here for Panzanella with Marva Jones shooting 162. Eckhoff 168. Panzanella 211. Nice spare for Sierra to start at minus 11. After 6 games. Yes, she did, Chris. Touched on that a little bit yesterday. Couldn't remember the date, but I saw the post, and that's what it's about: the improvement. And then to be able to want to get out there and kind of test the improvement. Thanks to the PBA for, specifically in that region, I believe it was the Northwest, having a separate event for women, of course, and the PWBA regionals. We are 2 down, 3 to go. Those 3, all 5 of those specifically on Sundays after or following a national event. And then we'll look toward the off season to continue to build and add events. Carolyn Dorn-Ballard, Laura Corris, and Jennifer King on 29 and 30. Excellent spare for Jen King. Jen spent a little time in Wichita as well before moving on to Pikeville to finish her collegiate career. Of course, Pikeville is where Jen and Kayla Bandy became really good friends, and that has carried over to their adult lives, and even helping the collegiate program. Of course, Kayla is the head coach at Maryland Eastern Shore, and Jen provides her time as an assistant there as well when she can. And if my memory serves correctly, first I'm going to go off memory and then I'm going to confirm it, that Jen King and Kayla Bandy on the Pikeville team in 2008 that won an intercollegiate team title right in this building at North Rock Lanes just more than 10 years ago. Now I'm going to test my own knowledge. Boom, there it is. It's got to be. It's a very good memory. I think I mentioned yesterday, but I didn't go into detail. But I did. My last collegiate event as a player was in this building in 2007. It ended in tears, but they were not tears of joy, but tears of sorrow. So my collegiate career had come to an end, along with I don't remember how many seniors we had that year at the moment. 1, 2, 3, 4. There were 4 or 5 of us. Christina Kinney at minus 61. Love her hair, by the way. It's a good way to keep it intact. Kinney from Las Vegas. We've got a few Vegas participants this week. Hello, Sharon. Rolla checking in. And Rodriguez with a double. CDB, of course, one of the great legends of bowling in general, not just the PWBA Tour. I can tell you that CDB is always tough. She's going to give you everything she's got, without a doubt. But if you give her something that, you know, she can play a little straighter on, which she's always been great at, and we certainly all know that. I mean, do you really want to face CDB in match play? Just think about that for a minute. I don't care what year it is. I don't care what the Father Time may say. How many people in the chat want to face CDB? And I mean, like, yes, you would want to face her because you would like that opportunity to kind of match up against one of the greatest of all time. But in a situation where you take a look at a bracket and you're feeling good about yourself and you say, oh, man, well, I drew CDB in the first round. Like, yeah, is there not another draw? I just needed that one extra pin so I wouldn't have to face CDB. Well, I agree, Alyssa. Like there's 2 ways of, you can try to describe it. There's the one way where you would openly want to face CDB because she's one of the greatest. It's a challenge, and you certainly would love to have that challenge and go head up in a match play type situation. The other one is if you bowled so great and you're feeling good, and then you look at that bracket, and you say, oh, come on, really? It's like the year where, speaking of Wichita State, the year where Wichita State was a #1 seed in the NCAA tournament, and somehow Kentucky was an 8 seed, and they faced them in the second round. Like, come on. I agree, Glory. 100%. This discussion is more of a let's talk about it as opposed to what would actually happen on the lanes. Because if I was bowling, I would have the same attitude as well. I've got to go out and beat CDB. That's the only way to get to the championship. But I like your attitude. That is the only, in my opinion, the only real attitude that you'd love to have in that situation. This would be one of those topics that, and I think I've said this before, every now and then, you know, we kind of treat this like I throw some things out to you guys reciprocate said answers or questions, and we have a little chat. It's like Bowl TV radio, but in video form. See Daria Payok still out there playing the gutter. Let's see if we'll have Daria on our featured pairs at some point today. She's going to miss us on our featured pairs, but she'll be here bright and early tomorrow morning. Oh, I'm sorry, not tomorrow. Tomorrow evening. Speaking of Payok, that's got a push. And out of trouble there for Rodriguez. I like our group this morning. Everyone is alive and well and watching, listening, paying attention. Everyone must have had 2 cups of coffee and not just one. Kenny, that looks good. And it is. And I've got a message. All right, Kanemoto. That's awesome, Michelle. All right, so the bar is set then. Alyssa Harper in the chat is the bar for today. I'm going to go find the leaderboard then and take a picture with it. Make sure Alyssa's name is prominently displayed. We are through 5 on 29 and 30, or wrapping up frame 5 on 29 and 30. And now into the 7th frame. Well, Rodriguez looks comfortable. I heard there's a lot of strikes on 41 and 42, and yes, they are. Olivia Sandham going to step up in the 10th frame, looking for 268. Aaron Saprinsky can spare strike for 245 in the 10th frame. Ashley Rucker had a really decent weekend last week at the Lincoln Regional. She was near the top and in the top 4 for a long time. I think unfortunately just lost a little bit of the look later. And ended up just missing a cashing spot by a couple pins. Roland, that's a good question. Does it matter the age? Or do we take years? If we're taking years, I would take the 2001 Carolyn Dorn Ballard. And you could put her up really against anyone. That 2001, it's like you play video games and you get to pick what team or a certain team like you want to play as the 96 Bulls. Yeah, the PWBA video game. I'm going to take the 2001 Carolyn Dorn Ballard. The cool thing about Liz is it's very interesting. I don't, like is there a year that there's just 1 year that you just pick because she's just been so consistently dominant for many years, and not that CDB hasn't. She has. It's just like that 2001 season. You win 7 titles in one season, and then you make other shows that could have also been titles, and you just go, well, that's hard to do. In fact, only 2 people have ever done it. You could take the 15 through 17, Liz Johnson. Kanemoto has found something. Such a good player. Good person to talk to. If I recall correctly, I thought I learned this in Dayton, that medical school was in her future. I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure that's what I recall. She had 2 choices, maybe. I think one was like KU, and I don't quite remember the other right now. 3-bagger for CDB. All right, so the 10 pin. I do enjoy Laura's attitude, and I'm not sure who is with her. The nice gentleman who has been watching her bowl this week. Their interactions have been cool to watch. Kinney. Again, Vegas has been well represented. It started at the Hall of Fame banquet. Wendy McPherson has been living in Henderson, Nevada for many years now. And many of her friends and family from that area were out to support. Some of them stayed to bowl. Andrea Petraglia is here rooting on Christina Kinney. Nice shot there for Rucker. So a couple in the 10th frame, and Rucker can get into the 2-0s. The Senior Queens, Corrine, took place in March of this year. So a few months ago, Jeannie Nacarado took that title. Nicely done there. Kanemoto is lined up and matched up. Looking to eliminate that -11 right now on the scoreboard. Here is Kinney, 10th frame. She's got 220 out there. Push, push, bang. She did not like the footing there. I think she was a little unsure. Didn't know it also was the 10th frame. That's what happens when you throw it so good. You just, like, huh, I'll get to it the next time. All right, 2-0 is in the future with a spare here for Rodriguez. Thanks for the updates in the chat there, James. 268, and let's see, 68 for Sandham, 245 for Saprinsky. One more, Kenny will be in the 220s. Even better than the first. Who is going to be that player? Perhaps that is not a member. Who's going to make a run this year at the Queens? Every year there's one or two. Could there be more? .23 for Kinney. Nicely done. And looks like she's got a pretty solid look here on the fresh. Oh, that's got a hook for Kanemoto. And it does. Wow. She gets a nice break and see if she can turn this into a 250 game here with that break. First one in the 10. Rucker also with the first in the 10th. One more, she's in the 2-0s. Ah. And the old 8-pin. Kanemoto. So the shoulders go high. Exhale on the breath. .28. Spare will give Sierra 246. .193 for Ashley Rucker. CDB shoots 236. Jen King 191. Be heading to game 3 very shortly. Final shot here for Chorus. .189 for Chorus, and we're moving to game 3. And game 3. Should have Mayling Billingsley and Megan Most. on 27 and 28, and they will be joined by Caitlin Simpson. Then on 29 and 30, Haley Nudell and Cassandra Luthold will be on 29 and 30. Along with Danielle McEwen and Mary Beth Jackson, if I am correct. All right, so a small break on the way. And it looks like our players are just about here and ready. We'll be back with you in just a second. You're watching the USBC Queens here on Bowl TV. Bowling lives here. All right, folks. Can't get enough bowling, which I know you cannot, especially with our Queens coverage here, but that's what we are about at bowltv.com. We want you to listen. Make sure to check out Out of Range, the Out of Range podcast with Tony Franklin, along with Derek Hartnell and Matt McFadden. They talk about everything on the lanes, on and off. Some of the biggest stars in bowling stopping by each and every week. We got a new episode posted in the Backstage channel on bowltv.com, so be sure to check it out. Out of Range with Tony Franklin and on Bowl TV. It's a good name. Kudos to him. Nice job. It's much better than 180. All right, we're into game number 3. Again, Megan Most, Mayling Billingsley, and Caitlin Simpson on 27 and 28. Mary Beth Jackson, Danielle McEwen, Cassandra Luthold, and Haley Nudell. Let's take a look at some standings after a couple of games now from this morning. Again, we are into round number 2. If you are just joining us, this is the B Squad bowling. B Squad are on the lane. They're bowling on the fresh. Daphne Tan has gone 222, 176, so she is 2 under for the day. Right now at plus 178. Josie Barnes has gone 214, 234. Josie at plus 162. Caroline Lagrange 239, 192. She sits at plus 150. Kayla Mandy 224, 165. She sits at plus 144. Liz Johnson 258, 212. She's at plus 133. Carolyn Doran Ballard 201 and 236 so far today. Overall total again at plus 129. Dasha Kovalova 8th. 256, 218, plus 125. Danielle McEwen. There are a lot of 250 games on the fresh on the first game out. 258, 201. She now sits at plus 124 and looking to do more damage here in game 3. Sherry Tan has gone 239, 219 to get to plus 118. Let's take a look at the cut number. See what that is at the moment. And right now it's minus 12. Sandham is plus 40 overall, including that 268 game. That's moved over to 31 and 32. Couple opens. Actually, all splits. He's had 4 splits this game. With 3 of them coming on the right lane. Pikeville earlier, we were discussing Jennifer King, Caitlin Simpson, former Pikeville standout. She actually has a 300 game to her credit at the USBC Queens. It took place in 2016. Speaking of Simpson, There is D-Mac, leaving a 7-pin in the 7th frame. Game 3 moving right along. As we kick off today's coverage, again, hello everyone. If you have been joining us since early this morning, if you have just tuned in within the last few minutes, or somewhere in between, this is the USBC Queens. This is game 3 of 5 here. Fresh condition today. B squad on the lanes for round number 2. 15 total games, 15 complete games of qualifying. Across 3 squads will decide the top 64 players who will advance to match play, which will begin on Sunday morning. Three-game total pinfall matches. Double elimination. We will have 5 finalists. Will compete for a USBC Queens title and the tiara. Pretty sure that we had someone in the chat earlier, might have been Kathy, who was looking for Shanice Oliver, and she is on 25 and 26. If Kathy is still watching. Joan, the finals will be on CBS Sports Network. Every live TV final on the PWBA Tour is on CBS Sports Network. That includes this week's USBC Queens. The next live telecast will be the U.S. Women's Open on June 23rd. Then we'll have 3 telecasts in August, similar to last year's schedule. 3 elite event telecasts, 3 consecutive Saturdays in August. Then in first week of September, the Cubica AMF PWBA Players Championship will be, of course, on Bowl TV throughout the week. And then our live telecast will be on CBS Sports Network. September 8th. And then the finale, of course, the PWBA Tour Championship from Richmond Raceway. September 18th for that telecast. For the full schedule, please visit pwba.com. Under tournaments, you'll see the broadcast schedule. It's also off on the right on the home page. It's been a good day here for D-Mac thus far. 59 over, plus 124 overall. Caitlin Simpson gets a nice break. Trying to limit the damage here. She can get to 193. Put her at minus 58 overall. Liz Johnson just to our left. Looks like Caroline Lagrange has the front 8 on 15 and 16. Beautiful shot there for McEwen. An area of the lane she too is comfortable with. There's not really an area that she's not comfortable with. But when you get her in an area that she can see the 1-3 very well, everything else is about the shot repeatability, and she's arguably the best in the world at that. Nice shot for Haley. That's a big double there. She can. She's put herself in position to potentially get to 230. Looks like Abby Ragsdale has the front 7. On 21 and 22. Keep you updated on Ragsdale's progress. And Abby right now the reigning National Collegiate Bowling Coaches Association Player of the Year, or excuse me, Most Valuable Player. The International Bowling Media Association Award for Bowler of the Year on the women's side went to Lauren Piotrowski of Pikeville. And Ragsdale went Brooklyn, and she's got the front 8. $194 for Mary Beth, $180 for Luth Holt. Good shot there for Nudell. The 10 pin won't fall. Let's see now what McEwen will offer. So we'll be entering your screen here, right side momentarily. The old 2-4-5-7. Ragsdale run is complete at 9. So was Lagrange's in the 9th frame as well. All right, Liz Johnson with another opportunity at 250. Open frame for McEwen, 216. We're all complete through 4 games, or 3, beg your pardon. Heading to game 4 with Kayla Pashina, Cassidy McIntosh, and Caitlin Johnson on 27 and 28. Jen Higgins out there sending messengers over on lane 33. She can get to 214. She's in the 10th frame. Josie Barnes can get to 192. Jordan Newham at, let's see, at minus 27. She can strike out for 188. All right, first shot from Caitlin Johnson. Caitlin, a proud Texan, as she'll tell you, from Beaumont. We got part of the kind of Texas flag on her jersey, Texas Star. .167 for Newham on our pair to the left. Barnes doubles in the 10th and leaves a 9-pin on the fill. 191. Pashina, former Nebraska Cornhusker, bowling now back-to-back events on tour. She bowled last week in Lincoln, and of course here this week at the USBC Queens. Nice spare made from the southpaw. Cassidy McIntosh. Cassidy McIntosh is listed from Warrensburg, Missouri. I've been to Warrensburg once. I know that Central Missouri is located in Warrensburg. Well, game 4, and we talked about, transition, and we could be within that realm. See where Johnson is still right. Really good shot.